Consumer confidence hitting a 6-month high in August. Despite confidence rising, nearly 1/3 of people have been cutting back on their spending due to concerns about the economy, according to a TD Bank survey. To break down how you should be spending, we've got Chris Fred, TD Bank head of U.S. credit cards and unsecured lending. Great to have you here, and thanks so much for hopping on the program with us, Chris. First, let's just start on your read-through of the consumer right now, because it seems like if we're seeing a consumer that's tapping or swiping credit cards more often, that just means that they're more hesitant to deploy cash in the event that they need that in an emergency situation here. What is your read-through?
Yeah, first of all, thank you for having me on your program, Brad. Despite the fact it seems like you're an Eagle fan from the prior segment, but the survey definitely revealed a lot of anxiousness on the part of the consumer and their financial situation. About 2/3 of customers or consumers are stating that their finances are keeping them up at night. About 1/3 of them, also saying that they're cutting back on spending. So definitely higher prices, student loans, higher borrowing costs, definitely weighing on on the consumer right now. But I think what's interesting is, despite that, we're also seeing consumers feel like they actually have the ability and the confidence to manage their finances. It's just a lot of work. It creates, it necessitates a fair amount of grit and work to be able to manage your cash flow and your finances. And so, definitely see this weighing on consumers. But the Americans continue to be quite resilient, but it's a lot of work. And it's a lot of anxiety, and that's really coming through in what we're seeing right now.
So we're also seeing credit cards dominate how people pay, as we were talking about. Can you tell us about how people should be navigating that and some of your top tips?
Yeah, we definitely see credit cards as well as debit, really trumping, cash. I think about 10% prefer to use to cash to do their spending. So credit cards obviously are playing a more and more important role. But largely what we saw in the survey was really around convenience, the ability to earn rewards, and those things being much more important than necessarily just trying to hold on to cash for that uncertainty. We do see payment rates going down, but not dramatically, and really not even lower than what we saw pre-pandemic. So, definitely seeing customers, having a willingness and a confidence to use those credit cards. But cash continues to become a smaller and smaller part of people's wallets.
What are some of the smart spending habits that people can put into place, even as they're identifying what their cost basis is, where they need to spend, versus some of those discretionary items that they want to spend on, but perhaps we need to ball on a budget a little bit more?
Yeah, what's important is, I think I heard you say this earlier in one of your segments is, there's more information and more tools than's ever been available before. Consumers are so much more smarter about their finances. Households are talking about finances. I know, my relatives are constantly asking me questions about their credit score and things of that nature. I think what's most important is that people need to understand where they're spending. And knowledge really is power. When you think about how you're spending, where you're spending, if you don't necessarily know what those are, it's really hard to build a budget. It's really hard to understand how that relates to your income stream and things of that nature. So there's so many tools out there for you to go after. You can do a simple search in terms of spend trackers, excuse me, and that would reveal a lot about how you're spending. But I think what you'll see when you do that is that there are a lot of expenditures that all of us have, whether it's subscriptions and you didn't realize you were paying for, the coffees and whatnot that we all need for simple pleasures. But can you cut back on that a little bit? Can really make a big difference when you do this on a daily basis, when you do it on a monthly basis. It adds up. But you kind of need to know that.
Yeah.
And I think these tools are really important to getting you there.
He's dropping some gems.
Yeah, he is. He is. Definitely some great ideas. But go ahead, Akeem, man. What's your take on how Americans?
I love that he said that. So I look at my finances every day, to be honest with you. I'm anal about it. So, you know what I mean? And I do watch out how I spend. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I eat out. You know what I mean? I make money. I try. Sometimes I feel like I don't, but what he's saying does add up. You can fuck around and have an $800 bill in a month for just eating fresh juices, or the fresh juices eating at Whole Foods every other day. I go to the salad bar and all that, and give me, you know what I'm saying, some what's my quinoa salad. You know what I mean? But you know me, because I'm trying to eat healthy, but it does add up. So it does be to try to cut down, and I've tried to came down and been able to get that down so I can pay off more debt.
Now, but shout out to the lovely Sherry Bryan and the lovely Bobby Bryan. Sherry Bryan say, Wiz beat that challenge. He got an A. Shout out to Wiz Kid. We already knew
I
Wiz Kid
got
was
you,
gonna beat
baby.
that challenge. We already knew what time it was. And I can't
Mm-hmm.
say he got you. His
I
word is
got you.
bond. His word is bond. Never fail. Shout out to Ken Dog. The mom follows us on the building. We really do greatly appreciate it for you guys for always coming in and showing us some love. But what the guy was pretty much stating when it comes to the aspect of credit card, I agree with him 110%. Cash is becoming useless. Most of the time, people are swiping their card
Yeah.
each and every day, even myself. Well, but however, I still believe that cash is still king because when you go to certain foreign land, they still want you to use cash instead of card. But even though certain land are starting to transition over to credit card, but still the smart thing to do is to use cash. But now, when it comes to certain aspect of spending, like when you're traveling, a lot of people use credit card because of the points, the travel mileage. That's one of the things people use the credit card for, travel mileage, hotels, especially when they're trying to go on an expensive date. People use credit card because remember, not only that, credit card is also easy to dispute than actually using cash. Because when you use cash, it's kind of hard to track it because they're like, okay, how can you track it? But with your credit card, you can actually track that. And not only that, with the difference between credit card and debit cards. Debit card is good too, but it also when something goes wrong, it takes them a while for them to put the money back into your
Yep.
debit card than actually
Yeah.
your credit card. When you dispute a credit card, it's like the money goes right back instantly. But with the debit card, it takes like a week. I never understand that
Or
concept of
more.
it.
Sometimes even
Mm-hmm.
more.
Well, even more. So I don't understand that concept. So I think people are starting to keep getting to that, and they start to use debit card. No, not debit. Sorry, start to use a credit card more. And I think credit cards to me, if you're trying to buy a house or you're trying to build credit, use a credit card, but do smart with. Don't always spend beyond your means. Spend within your means, and you should be fine. Most of the time, people spend money that they don't have. That's what the guy says. Always very important to make sure you check your account because you want to make sure if I'm using this certain amount of money, I want to make sure I have that money in my account so I won't be in a deficit. Go ahead, Jordan.
I wanted to comment real quick. People also need to know there's certain places you can't go and use a debit. Some places just stop using debit.
Yeah, completely.
Rental
Yep.
cars,
Yep.
hotels,
Credit card only.
resorts.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
They need for
Even
incidents,
Airbnb. Even
Airbnbs.
Airbnb, at one point they were using Cash
And
App and they say
also
no, credit card. Go ahead.
we also with debit cards, they'll ask you to put a little more deposit to it instead of using a credit card. And
Correct.
that's how strict they are too. But yeah.
That's facts too.
Yeah, especially with the credit cards, people. Like I said, that's from banks, from Bank of America, Chase, and other banks, credit unions. They always have like a cashback type of offer that you can use, especially on credit cards. Use that, people use it, and also not just cashback. They got I know with Chase, with credit cards and debit cards, they got cashback at certain restaurants, certain gas stations, certain shopping areas. We can save about 5% cashback
Mm-hmm.
or 10% cashback, sometimes 15%
Mm-hmm.
cashback if you use it. All you gotta do is go to the app and download it, and then there's a certain site to say they got cashback offers at certain areas like at Johnny Rockets or Five Guys. Sometimes Papa John's or shopping stores like Macy's, and other retail stores too. You can actually you can get a good cash back as well. So people, make sure you be smart and use all these tools, especially from these banks. If you got credit cards, sometimes with debit cards that you can use cash back offers. You could just go into the apps, log in, and then you see they might have between 15, 20, even 30 types of restaurants or retail stores that you can say, hey, you can click on it and it'll save onto your card. You can get like an instant 5% or 10% cash back and everything. And also too, I got T-Mobile. They got T-Mobile Tuesday sometimes. Sometimes, they always have savings on, if you go on a trip, we're going to rental cars, hotels, certain restaurants, they got, I think they got pizza, Little Caesars, Pizza Huts. And also, if you shop online, sometimes they might have you can save about 30% from Reeboks, from Foot Locker. You know, there's a lot of stuff that like I say, banks, and also for me, T-Mobile. I don't know if Verizon, everybody, or AT&T does that, but there's so much stuff you can do to save money when it comes to credit cards, or when it comes to T-Mobile. You go grocery stores, there's coupons. They have digital coupons now. You can save and everything. So people just really take advantage of with how the economy is. Make sure you use some cash backs, coupons, or anything like that to save you money. Or we get emails. I know there's a lot of stuff on your junk emails that might have a lot of stuff that you don't look at, but there's sometimes they might send you some type of savings when it comes to coupons or anything like that. They say, hey, I could use that for some reason. You're going out to dinner, you're going out, at Home Depot, save some money. There's so many options out there you can save money, and because the economy is not really doing that well. So yeah, this like save your money as all time. If you got a credit card, make sure you check your cash back. Anything you can cash back up. Anything you can use to save a cash back. They do it to some debit cards too. This is a perfect time, people. And like I said, by the end of the year, you'll save hundreds of dollars from from stuff that you save. And say, hey, I think I did a good year this year. By saving things by using coupons, using my cash back when it comes to credit cards, and like I say, it adds up. It might not add up like from a week from now or a month from now, but at the end of the year, if you check, if you adding up, check your, how much you spend this year, you see you can probably save maybe $500. Which sometimes, like for me in groceries, I'm on the trail to save about $1,500 this year worth of groceries because I've been saving so much